Yay, welcome, and thank you so much for downloading these 4 done-for-you Zapier connections that I've created and I actually personally use. And I'm just so excited that you are going to be setting this up in your business because honestly, Zapier has been like a mini assistant to me, a mini VA, and has honestly just saved me so much time in my business and has done so many tasks for me that I know I would forget to do, and has just made my business all around just more organized, streamlined, and definitely automated. So in this video, I'm just going to walk you through how to set up one of the connections, just so you have a better understanding how to go about it and what to look for, essentially. Now, if you are new to Zapier, Zapier essentially is a middleman integration type system. Essentially, what it does is it takes data information from one system and transfers it, or as they like to call it, zaps it over into another system of yours. So it really is kind of like that middle person taking information from one place and dropping it into another. So if you ever kind of said to yourself, like, I wish these were just connected. I wish there was an integration. I wish somehow when I did this, this happened over here. Honestly, Zapier, it's very likely that it can do that for you in your business. It has thousands of systems that it can connect together, although sometimes there's certain limitations. But honestly, for the most part, if you are wanting to do something between two systems and get them integrated, there is a way that Zapier can help 100%. I don't want to say no matter what it is, because I'm sure there's some things that are definitely impossible, but it, for the most part, can help you in one way or another accomplish what you want to connect, essentially. One more thing to note before we get started is before you go ahead and set up these connections, just make sure that you actually have a Zapier account created and signed into. So I'm going to show you the first one here. So when you open up the PDF, I believe on the 3rd page, we have our first connection here. This is a connection that I actually I think this is one of my first connections, to be honest, that I've made, probably one of the first 3, and I still use it to this day. And it is to connect Calendly to Dubsado. So more specifically, whenever a discovery call is booked into my Calendly, a new project and client will be created in my CRM system, Dubsado. So after I have that discovery call, all of that person's information is already inputted into Dubsado for me. Automatically, I don't need to waste any time doing it, finding their email, finding how to spell their last name. None of that. It is all in my Dubsado for me. So if I do want to send them a proposal or a contract or a follow-up email, whatever it is in my Dubsado, their information is already in there because of this Zap. So like I said, make sure you're already logged in or create an account in Zapier, logged in. And when you are, you can go ahead and click on the link here, and it will bring you to a screen like this. Now, at the bottom, it will kind of just give you just a bit of information on what to expect from this Zap, how long it takes to set up, how many hours a week it will save, and the steps that are involved in it. All of these Zaps only have 2 steps. On the free version of Zapier at this point in time of filming this video, but I also don't anticipate this changing. On the free version of Zapier, you can only have 2 steps in each Zap. So if you want to create more steps, you do have to upgrade to one of their paid plans. So when you are ready to install this, we're going to click on the Try This Zap. And it's first going to direct you to select the account that your Calendly account to connect to Zapier. So you're going to need to create or get your API key from Calendly and put it into Zapier. It will prompt you to do that. And once that's done, your account will show up below, which you can select here. And then we're going to hit continue. I'm just going to backtrack just quickly, just so you have a bit better of an understanding of how this Zap actually works before I do go on to the next step. So the trigger of this Zap is when an invitee is created, meaning when an event, when a calendar event is created in Calendly, this Zap will trigger. I hope I'm kind of phrasing that right. So when an event is an invitee is created in Calendly, Zapier will see that, take note of that, and take that information from that calendar event and not necessarily stick it into Zapier, but it's going to take this calendar event information, transform it into Dubsado data, which we're going to go to next. So calendar event created, select your Calendly account, hit continue. Now it does do some test data to make sure that this Zap is actually running properly. So we're going to want to test the trigger, and for this event, yeah, I can use that. That's actually okay. So it will give you some test data, just to select a test data, just so you can see and make sure at the end of the Zap that everything is working as it's supposed to. So after you select your test data, you will go on to the action portion, which is the last step in the Zap. And that is, in this case, to create a project in Dubsado. So you'll see here, Dubsado should already be created. The action event should be to create a project already. And then the same thing, you're going to have to select your Dubsado account. If it's not already created, it will prompt you to put in an API key from your Dubsado account into Zapier so it is connected. And then some of this information in here is already inputted for you, but there are some things that you will have to select on your own, potentially how much you want to customize it and what kind of data you want to transfer over. So if you do want to have, anytime somebody books a discovery call, if you do want a workflow to be triggered, you can do so up here. I have already put in the data as the project name will be a lead, because they are a lead in your business, and you can put your program name, what have you, or you can change this all together, maybe just leave it as lead, maybe just have their name be inputted, what have you. It's really up to you. And again, all the rest of the information, depending what data you collect from Calendly, you can customize this. There is quite a bit of information that Dubsado holds on their projects. Like client company name. I think there's like alternative, contact. So a lot of it you probably won't need, but depending, you can customize what you want to transfer over there. And I do always recommend selecting a project status So likely it is going to be in a lead. They're going to be a lead right now if they are just booking a discovery call because they're not a paying or signed on client yet. And you may want to select a project source depending on how your Dubsado is set up. So if you do want to say that they booked a discovery call, that might be your project source, what have you, but that is up to you. I think it is, these are the only two required fields, is making sure the project, has a title, name. So I typically put mine as lead, project name. You can put maybe just their whole name in there. It is completely up to you. And then I always fill in their client first name as well as email down here, and then it is good to go. So you're going to hit continue at the bottom and test the data one last time. Make sure that a new project is actually created in your Dubsado with the test data, and then you are all good to go. This is all set up. You can then toggle this little button on after you've tested it. Make sure you've toggled it to on, and you're all good to go. The rest of the Zapier connections, very, very similar. Obviously going to be set up a little bit different. Some different information is going to be transferred over, but all of the setups will be very, very similar, where you have to set up the trigger first and then the action that you want to take place, making sure that you customize all the fields that you want the data to be transferred over with. So I hope this video has helped you to set up these Zaps in your business to help you be automated and get more done in your day, and have you forget about those little menial tasks because they're all going to be automated now. So you don't need to worry about putting in somebody's name and email into Dubsado, making sure that, you're getting notifications for failed payments and all of that kind of important stuff, but stuff that you don't need to be doing as the CEO of your business. So if you do have any questions, run into any trouble, please feel free to reply to this email. Email me directly at hello@MissSamanthaElizabeth.com if you do run into any issues. But I hope that these connections, Zaps, automations will help you in your business be more streamlined and get things automated.